Hi. It's been a while. It has almost been 2 years. Um, Forgive the state of my room. I'm in migration mode from moving from my bedroom downstairs to a bedroom upstairs so that I can have a little bit more space in the house. Um, yeah. What y'all been up to? I've been busy. I haven't read much overall in the last 2 years. I'm slowly getting there, figuring life out and figuring how to fit reading back into my life. But yeah, I just figured I'd pop in and say hi. And I want to get back into reading more. I've done a pretty good job. I read 4 books last month. Pretty good. I'll talk about those in a second. I want to get back into making videos. I miss doing this. But I also don't know how consistent my schedule will be, which is per usual with me, you know? But yeah, I'm going to say a lot until I get used to making videos again and having time to edit. So I apologize as well for the probable unedited version of this, which is normal. Really, in my last year making videos, I really did not have time to edit anyway. So I'm in school. I'm currently working on getting my bachelor's of history. I have no idea how much time left on that. I gotta figure that out. I have 2 to 3 years left. I'm ready to be done with school, but we'll get there. Currently taking classes, doing great. Life's been good. Been busy as can be, you know? I will share more about details when it seems right with all the things, but just doing my thing, trying to read, and I want to make videos again. So here I am, just trying to find little things to do. I thought I'd go through a little bit of an August wrap up. Haven't done that in a while. But I read 4 books in the last month, which is wild for me. I haven't read more than one book a month in the last year and a half, 2 years. So here we go. What I will say is that I am now in a book club at work, which is helping to broaden my horizons with books that I read, and also is helping me to actually read more and keeping me accountable. So that's been really nice. So 2 of these books that I have here were our summer reads that I did not read until the beginning of August. And 2 of these other books are just books that I read for fun, guys. It's great. So the first book that I read this summer, or read in August, is The Librarian of Auschwitz by Antonio Iturbe? Iturbe? I don't know. He is, I believe the author's originally is from Spain, somewhere in Europe, because it was translated from another language. It was originally published. I'm horrible. I didn't look any of this up. I can't remember. It's been a month since I read it. Enjoyed it. We've read quite a bit of World War II Auschwitz related books through book club. So this was definitely a similar style book. Structurally, it was a little different. It is the true story, fictionalized a little bit here and there, but it is the true story of Dita Kraus, who was the librarian in Auschwitz and was a prisoner in Auschwitz concentration camp, and she kept the books that they had on hand, and she was kind of responsible for that as the oldest girl in that area of the camp. It tells of the family camp that was designed specifically to help the Germans hide the fact that they were being very cruel. And it was a family camp that was designed to show, hey, we have people working and doing and living their lives and keeping families together and all of these things, for when the Red Cross would come and do their checks. It was obviously not actually a great space, but reading this was really interesting, learning about Dita's life. And I believe I gave it 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. It was not as great as the other books that I have read within this time period, just of how it was structured. But it was still a very interesting book to read. I did listen to it, which I think was a detriment to this book, as it jumps between POVs but doesn't really explain the jumping between POVs. So when you're listening to it, that becomes very difficult to keep track of. But I enjoy listening to these books because it keeps... it makes me hear the names and things pronounced how they're supposed to be pronounced and not how I make up the word to be pronounced in my head. So this was book number 1. The next book that I read for book club as well, this was our August book, was Big Little Lies, by Liane Moriarty. Really, really enjoyed this book. Also listened to it. I've listened to actually all of these books. Audiobooks are my best friend right now. But very, very interesting. Don't want to spoil anything. Read the book if you haven't read the book. I now have the TV show on my list. I cannot wait to jump into that show. And it was very, very interesting. Very confusing at the beginning of who I was like getting to know all the characters, because it is also a multi-POV, but still a very interesting book. I will probably, hopefully, pick up more of Liane Moriarty's books in the future, but for now, this was a great start to her books. The next book that I read in preparation for the movie is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. Loved this book. So good. Movie is so good. I do not like most people who criticize the movie because they read the book, because it was an adaptation, and you can only do so much with an adaptation. And there's a cat in my room. You might see a cat. Serafina, come here. Come here. I'm not editing this out, so you get the raw look for this. Hi, do you want to come say hi? Yeah, you want to come say hi? Okay. She's a chatterbox. Come here. But Red, White, and Royal Blue. It is such a good movie, and being an adaptation, they had to cut things out and change things and make them cut characters out, and make it make sense for a movie. And unfortunately, that means some really beloved characters had to get cut. And I understand people's frustration, but it's also an adaptation. And adaptations, you have to take liberties like that. And as someone who has adapted things, I understand that. Some people don't. But I hope that the movie still gets the love that it deserves. This is Serafina. She's got lots of thoughts and feelings. Yeah, don't ya? You didn't want to respond to that one. Okay. The last book that I read, which I just finished right at the end of the month, was Kate in Waiting by Becky Albertalli. Super, super cute. Set in Georgia. Is about a high school theater group. And Georgia, I have learned, does things very differently than we do here in Michigan. But that is okay. But reading a cute little love story about a theater group was just the best. And it was so fun. And it's a YA novel. Super, super cute. And yeah, there's nothing else to say about this other than it was adorable. So anyway, that's it, I guess, for this video. Hi, I'm back. I'm about to film a TBR, so you'll at least get 2 videos from me in this time period. Serafina will probably make an appearance in that video as well. And yeah, I guess with that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, whenever that is.